Hello and welcome to another episode of Two Labs Garage. Over the past couple of weeks we had a bit of a health scare with Miss Nellie here, and she's doing much better, but a week ago this time we almost lost her. But anyway, glad the little girl's on the mend, but I bring this up because over the past couple of weeks I really, everything else was on the back burner. We had to get my baby healthy. So I went diving through my archives on my hard drive, seeing, is there a video that fell through the cracks? Maybe I shot and just didn't do anything with it. And I found one. So this footage is about 10 months old, but nonetheless, got video for you and glad to have my little girl back. Hey there, and welcome back to Two Labs Garage. I have spent the past several weeks working and toiling and all kind of stuff on this truck to get the Dodge truck ready to go from a field find just a couple of years ago where I had vines growing all over it to the point where you could only see the top of the cab, to going to a pretty big show on the East Coast, getting ready for the Outer Banks Rod Fest. Anyway, it turned into a little more work and I thought, that's fine. I was taking it to a friend's house the other day, get a little help with something, and sheared a brake caliper off. Bolts sheared right off. I don't know what it's going to take to get that fixed. I only have a week, and it still has a bunch of other things it needs. So now I have 1 week to prepare this. Not familiar, this is the truck I took on Hot Rod Power Tour last year, and it broke and had to be towed home. I still hadn't fixed everything from that. And I work a full-time job, and I've got a week and rains forecast. This is going to work great. Definitely rolling the dice on this one. So, over the past few weeks or so, I've been using the tonneau cover on the back of this truck for my workbench table while working on the Dodge. And piled up stuff behind it. Also, some of the stuff needs to go in the attic, which I have to move this truck out of the way to get to the attic. And not only has all my focus been on the Dodge, it's currently sitting right behind you, but the starter's fried. So I gotta put a starter in it. Remember everything I broke on Power Tour, fix it, and get it ready. In all seriousness, it shouldn't be too bad because I did go through everything last year to get it through Power Tour, and I have had it running and even taken it to a car show since it's been back home. I need to change the starter, and well, we'll see. I'll show you. So now, my first order of business is to clean all this manure up. I don't think y'all really want to watch that, so I'm going to turn the camera off and try to just get this stuff cleaned off and stuff in the attic, and yeah. I'll go ahead and kind of show you what we're working with here. I actually remember I put that starter in 07. It's a Napa. And, well, it served its purpose, I guess. Show you another thing we're working with down here. Is during Power Tour, around Rockingham, my catalytic converter clogged up, so I chopped it off and sold it for scrap and put these flex pipes in its place. And this was just a temporary thing to get me through. Almost a year later, it's still like that. So I guess I need to go chop that muffler off and get enough pipe to extend to the tailpipes and tie that in. And that'll do till I pull this engine out. Just show you, there's the overdrive transmission and the old emissions air engine. I don't know how much longer this is going to be in here. Hopefully a year or two, but that's about it. Because I plan on taking the engine out and refreshing it, sticking that 71 Ford I got, and put something in here a little spicy with a 5-speed. Now, when I got this truck 23 years ago, I guess it was, I was told that it had a new engine in it. Nope. This is the factory engine. This is the original engine. Maybe it was rebuilt, I don't know, but it's just kind of interesting and surprising. This, this is a D9OE 79. That's when this truck was built. It was built in October 79. So, yeah, original engine. And I make these jokes with both starters sitting on the tailgate of a Dodge truck. GM quality parts for your Ford. Yep. Now what I'm looking for here is I want to make sure that they're exactly the same, because I had a debacle with my Fairlane and my Falcon. The Fairlane's got a manual transmission, 2-bolt starter, but it takes an automatic starter. Figuring I found out a little trick in a mislabel, I thought when I did my Falcon that the automatic starter was what I needed for that. Nope, that one actually needed a manual starter. I'm just looking real close at this. I'm pretty sure they're the same. There's a little difference in the width on the manual and the automatic, and the throws are different. So let me check the throws. They appear to be identical, or close to it. Grab my scale real quick and double check. Alright, here's a little trick I found. This is how I prefer to hook up a wire on the starter, because I don't know, I've always said it'd be a bit of a pain in the neck to do it another way. And that little electric ratchet really helps. Alright, maybe not such a grand idea. This, bad. It's an easy short right there. If I had the battery connected, we'd be making sparks. So, disregard what I said earlier. Starter installed. So hopefully, I'm hoping that's about the worst I gotta do this truck to get it ready. Yeah, I do have to get that big muffler off. Yeah, one thing at a time. Well, I guess third time's the charm with this starter wire, because now I've angled it down. So I was crawling out, I noticed it was kind of angled up, and I didn't like how close that put it to the exhaust, so I angled it the other way. I think keeping it away from the heat's a good thing. Alright, let's see how we do with a new starter. Fuel pump, neutralis, ignition. Does sound better, but we need to get some fuel going. I switched to the rear tank, go back to the front tank, see if she stays running. Alright, so she came out of the garage under her own power. We got a good starter in it, sounds great. Well, at least that does. Running a little rough, but hadn't had her legs stretched in several months, so a little berryman in the tank, some fresh gas, she'll be fine. Still gotta do fuel pump, exhaust, check it over real good. But also, I'm tired of moving 75 things every time I need to get in this truck and do something. So I'm going to be putting some stuff in the attic, off camera. But yeah, she's back. Well, if I wasn't in such a time crunch here, Nellie and I would put these headers on. They are actually for one of these trucks. I'm just in too much of a time crunch. But if I find myself with some extra time, let's not rule this out. Alright, so last night bringing the truck in, dogs are kind of playing under, and I'm like, y'all get out of here. And they evidently They see me getting this truck ready to go. They know I'm going out of town. Last time I was gone for a week, they don't want me to go. So they came up with a riddle for me. What's mightier, the alternator belt or the tennis ball? Well, much to my amazement, yeah, somehow or another they got the tennis ball up in the belts of the engine, and I didn't know it, and when I went to fire it up, there was a lot of smoke, and this is the result. Anyway, I got some inventory of belts here in the garage. Go hope one fits. If not, I might go rob my black Galaxy over there, because I think it's about 2 years ago I did all this work to make it my front running car. It made it less than a mile down the road before blowing the transmission. So it's got some good belts on it. And like I said, none of these fit. I might go over there and raid that and see if that's got one that'll fit. If not, parts store. And she's also telling me that I've had my prop long enough, she wants it back. Alright, so here's a little contraption I made up here. 3/8 rubber line that over here is where the tanks are. You got the selector valve for the 2 tanks, comes out into this rubber line. From here I got a 1/4 turn ball valve, turn it like that, shut the gas off. Just past that, got a fuel filter, brand new one on here. Now I got a little longer piece of line, and that's just so if I ever have to change this, I got a little flexibility, because this isn't going to flex a whole lot. I also have this fuel pump. This is a JDM Speed. I understand they're pretty good, and they're really inexpensive. 12 volt pump. And then here, it'll go the hard line, go out to the engine. Again, these things are meant to push and not pull, so I'm going to have it relocated down the frame, and got my wires to hook up. Also plan on my little roadside box carrying a couple of these pumps. So let's just say this one craps out on me. With this setup here with the thumb nuts on the hose clamps, I could probably change this in 5 minutes. Gonna somehow make this, I don't know how yet, but I'm going to make this easy to mount. You got a plug. So this is meant for easy service. So is this, and just to kind of improve upon things. And again, when I'm done with the vehicle, turn this off, let it run out of gas, carburetors not go gum up. And ultimately I plan on putting something similar to this on all my old vehicles, for the same reasons. And that way also it's universal parts. So I mean, I could be in my Dodge truck when I eventually go to this, or my Pontiac Tempest, or the 48 Chevy. Oh crap, the fuel pump died on me. Plug this bad boy in, just replace it, boom. So anyway, go ahead now. I don't want to wear a brand new shirt while I'm on the ground, so I'm going to change my clothes, get this under the truck, take some measurements, figure out what I gotta do with the exhaust. Still gotta change the oil. Amazon somewhere around, I have to check the tracking, but they have my belt. Goodyear. Hopefully that doesn't mean it's just good for a year. It'll be good for many years. But anyway, go change my clothes, put this on, show y'all how I do it, and I think it's a nice little setup. And this, yes, this is a fuel rated valve. So, yeah. Another thing about this is I had to change one of these filters during power tour. So I'm in the rest area, and I filled up not long before then. I go and I unhook this with the old screwdriver style clamps, and I took a gas bath. Smelled really bad. Don't want to do that again. So that's why I put the shutoff valve on there. So, alright, I need to change this out, or I need to change this out. First thing I'll do, turn the valve, shut the gas off, and I'm going to have a few drops on the ground, but I'm not going to be swimming in gasoline, because trust me, that sucks. So, anyway, I think this will do the trick. Alright, so here it is, installed. That right here is the selector valve. And here's my on-off valve. Again, that's just to keep gas from dumping off me. And I got a zip tie on it, holding it in the open position, so if something hits it going down the road, I'll accidentally shut it off and then have a dead vehicle. And it's one of these things, it's designed so when I come under a surface, I will have to cut the zip tie, but that's not a big deal. Fuel filter. And right there we got the plug-in. So if this fuel pump ever crips, I'll just take another one, unplug it there. Undo those bolts. Undo the hose clamps. Put a new one in. On my way. Probably could be done in 5 minutes or less. Alright, let's see if all this works. Neutral. Important. Everything's good. I just I dropped the air cleaner and it was too close to the belt, so I just reached my hand in while I was running. So let me get that and then play up for the night. Alright, so now time to address the exhaust system. On power tour, my catalytic converter was somewhere in here. It plugged up and it blew out the wire in the exhaust. Mind if it's a stock. So I went to Advance and got this flex piping put on. And it's done its job. But now it's time to do something a little more right, a little less wrong. From here back, the exhaust, well, it's got some age on it, but it's in outstanding condition. So my plan is I'm going to take this muffler off, this single to dual muffler off, and back there keep those 2.5-inch pipes that go over the axle and out the back. They're just fine. I'm going to keep this muffler and this pipe around for that. Once I get an engine in there, that will be straight so it's powered, but I'll have dual exhaust. I'll just use that muffler to get them. So anyway, my plan is to take this flex pipe off, see if I can't cut one in half and use it just for up here where I need my bends and all, and then merge it down there. So, go cut the muffler off, take these off, and I'll meet you outside. So far, so good. Leaves, pipe. I may not be able to do that. Sugarfoots. So that's not coming off. I'm going to have to change my plan a little bit, put this clamp back on. I guess I crushed it so tight around it, which isn't a bad thing. Got a good seal. Just this stuff's gotten a little spendy, and I wanted to use it for a different project. I didn't need that long of flats. But just the way things go sometimes. I'm not mad. Just hope it seals back up good. If you're wondering why I'm releasing a little slower right now, it's partly because, well, the truck I've been working on broke, and right now is when I normally be releasing one, and as you can see, I'm hard at work. Okay, so a little known fact. You go to Lowe's, you get the EMT 2-inch conduit. It's the same thing as 2 1/4-inch exhaust pipe. And it's readily available, sold in 10-foot sticks. So that's what I've done. And I trimmed the flex pipe so a 5-foot stick will reach from where I had to chop the muffler off to meet up. And it would have been nice to be able to get a 12-foot and run a 6-foot section, but this will work fine. And plus, besides the pieces I cut off of the flex pipe, will work just perfect for what I need them for the Falcon. Alright, so I got my exhaust pipe sitting on a pipe stand, and I'm going to want to deburr the inside, so I'm going to take the Dremel and go in there and do that. And I have never welded exhaust before. Well, that's getting ready to change. I'm going to put the 2 1/4 to 2 1/2 adapter on here on both pipes, see how that goes. I'll probably clamp it up under the truck just because I am not an experienced welder. I went and bought a cheap welder from Northern with no experience and kind of taught myself how to use it. And I can successfully stick 2 pieces of metal together, but I am by no means a welder. And I don't want to be laying on the ground getting sparks all over me, my shirt catching on fire, and me trying to roll out from another truck. Just not good. So unless I really impress myself with how I weld this piece on, that's what I'll do. But why am I even welding it when I could just clamp it? I want to learn. That's the only reason. So let's see what happens. Alright, so stuff's on the ground. Got me a piece of carpet to lay on. Got my pipes, got my clamps, got my impact. Ready to clamp these exhaust pipes on. Decided not to weld the things actually up to the pipes that are already on the truck, just for safety reasons, but as for the couplings that go to each end, yeah, they're welded on. Alright, so here we go, clamped up. Got some brackets welded on. This is just a piece of all thread. J-hooked around the old muffler holder thingy, my bob. And being I don't know if red loctite works with high heat, I went ahead and just welded the nut on. And welded it on there. Yeah! Oh! There's the front one. So she's good to go now. Just take the clamp off and clean my tools up. Alright. Come under here, change the oil. Used a ball one the last time. Good filter. June of 23. So yeah, she's I can't remember the last time this truck was actually due on mileage, but it is. But this one's due on mileage and time now. Alright, so normally when I do oil changes on these old engines, I use 15W40 diesel oil because I'm a little concerned about the wear on this engine. This time I'm going to be using 20W50 conventional. If you ever wanted to know, this is that's on. And still need my zinc, and also I'm going to be adding 2 things of just regular STP into it. And since this stuff's thick, it's probably going to be more like running 30W60 in this thing. Also, this truck is an oversized pan, so it has a 6-quart capacity. So my 2 things of STP will bring it up to where it needs to be. And we'll have everything we need. I'll tell y'all a little joke about STP. When stuff first came out in oil additives and all, and there was a big debate amongst people, it still goes on today. Stuff does something, no, it doesn't do anything. And they sponsored Richard Petty. This was early in those days. And someone went up to King Richard and said, you know, why are you taking their money? Why are you putting their name on your car? Because you know this stuff doesn't do anything. You're just selling people snake oil. Richard Petty said, no, that's not true at all. It does do something. Look at how beautiful their colors made my race car look. So anyway, the stuff has zinc in it, so I'm using it. We've got a well-worn engine. It thickens the oil. So that's why I like it. And when I use the diesel oil, that's a little lighter weight at 15W40, it's already got the zinc, so I don't put it in there. But when I use this stuff, I do. Like Renata that you see on the channel occasionally, if I need to bring back here and get back on the channel. That one's got a really worn engine in it, so that also gets the STP thickening to go along with heavy oil. And sometimes during harvest season, it's good to know too, because all the farmers are buying up that Rotella and all like crazy. It can get a little hard to find in the fall. So I've occasionally had oil change to do then, just couldn't find the diesel oil. So I'll just take regular and put some STP in it. Same thing. Well, got her out. Got her just about all ready. Got my charging stuff set up. Swamp cooler in. I made that thing last year. I was so proud of myself. I thought I invented something. Then I go on Power Tour, I find out they're called swamp coolers, and half the cars there had them. So much for that. It does all right. Back here, just packing in some tools, camera setup stuff. This thing, the golf cart, no, I don't plan on hitting the links while I'm down there. I actually found that you could strap a 5-gallon bucket to these, and they do great for walking down the beach and picking up treasures, carrying them back. So yeah, that's what that's there for. I got my jack, tools, parts, miscellaneous. You put my luggage in here. Need to get my wrench set. That's a definite need. Rest of my chairs, air up the tires. But last year, going down the Power Tour, I hit a pretty bad rainstorm. I couldn't see anything. Wipers on high. It's got good blades on it. Well, this was something I decided if I ever did anything remotely like that again, I was going to have. So I put a coat of rain nets on it. So we should be good, especially since they're calling for rain tomorrow when I'm driving down. I'm really glad I got the rain nets on there. And also for that reason, I'm not really worried about washing it. Also where the whole thing is, there's a lot of salt spray in the air. So I'm not going to worry so much about being clean. I'm just going to have fun and give it a good hose down when I get home. Alright, so that'll do it for this episode of 2 Labs Garage. Forgive me for having given y'all some little bit older stuff, but nonetheless, I meant to release that video a long time ago and kind of forgot about it. And I think there's a couple pieces of footage that just went missing. I don't know, it's 10 months old, but nonetheless, thank y'all for tuning in. And till next time, be good to each other, take care of yourself, take care of your projects, and I'll see you soon. God bless, bye-bye.